So this dirt road is right by the farm where Mickle grew up. So according to Elizabeth, this area is the farm where Mickle grew up. So my great-grandfather grew up here. And I'll show you the farm in a minute, but this is still a dirt road. So this road and this whole area looks, I think, just exactly what it would have looked like when he was growing up here. So I'll show you. I just think this is so cool. So here we've got a farm that looks like wheat or something. But there's a home over there. And all this farmland, I think, would have been theirs, but I don't know. So he grew up on a farm right here. And then over here we've got dairy cows. So in the past, regardless of how it's the same or different or whose boundaries, this is definitely what it would have looked like when he lived here growing up. So all this is, for sure, because he grew up just down the road here. Just see where the trees kind of cover it over there. I'll get there in a minute, but he definitely would have wandered around here, like spent time traveling on these roads as a kid growing up. Probably wandered through these pastures and areas many, many times. So yeah, wow, it's so cool that it still looks, I think, basically about the same as it would have been. The exact address, and this nice lady has given me permission to take pictures. So you can see that this barn is very old. In fact, look, a lot of this, and here comes a tractor, a lot of this is really old. Wow. This old barn, she said, it's being restored. Wow. So it was a dairy farm, I think. So it looks like this may be the original. Like, it looks really old, but maybe it's newer. And there's some farm over there. Now this is awesome. Look at this old dairy building. I'm gonna try to zoom in. It's been raining. But this is where he grew up. I don't know if these are the original buildings, but certainly it's the original land of where he grew up. And the lady was kind enough to let me come. Yeah, look, there's the house. I don't know how old the house is. She said it was built in the 1890s or something. So it was here when they lived around this area. But yeah, wow, that old barn. That is amazing. So you can't see any of this from the roads because it's behind things. See, the road is clear back there. And then over on this side, you can't see it from the side either because it's completely surrounded by a wall of trees. So I'm just gonna, I hope she doesn't get mad. It's okay, buddy. This is so cool though. Look at this yard. Big yard. And then over here, and this old barn. I bet you that he knew this place. He spent time in here, I'm guessing. And then here's another part of the, yeah, see, this is all part of the dairy farm. This has got to be. And then look how the house is. It's big and wow. Yeah, so this whole thing just keeps going. Here's the other side of it. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Wow. So when I asked her about it, she hadn't heard of Nibo, which she said is Nubo here. That's how they would pronounce it, Nubo. And look at these old places over here. This is very much what it would have looked like when he lived here growing up. All around. So I'm not sure if that's what it, if they had farmland across the street, but that's what it would have looked like across the street back then. I mean, very little has changed. And I can't help but, like, even just look at the ground and think, wow, my great-grandfather walked on this ground when he was a kid. This is just incredible. House. Oh man, this is awesome. Look, the old cobblestones, it's possible that this was here, like the road. And there's that old dairy farm. And I don't know how old it is, but again, this is just, if these buildings are newer from when he lived here, then he still lived in this, on this property. So, wow, just amazing. This is wild to be here. It's just so cool to think. Okay. So walking away from there and back towards here. There's all that cool stuff again. So again, I just like to feel like, okay, well, even if these buildings weren't here, he walked around on this property. He lived on this property growing up. Yeah, there's that. So, okay. Amazing visit. And it's still a farm. This lady is selling products in this cute little hut here that's right off the road. People keep stopping and going in and buying the fruit and vegetables. So I don't think it's a dairy farm anymore. So I just met this man who said, okay, so tell me what you just told me.
I say that guy who built the farm was, I know he come home here, lived in United States for some years, and then he come back here and build that house. So he wanted to make sheep, not sheep, sheep, I think. And then, but the story is that he didn't feel good here, so he go back to United States again. And they told me he was Mormon.
Mormon.
Mormon. Yeah, I don't know
so-
how we
no,
say
it's
Mormon
okay.
in Danish.
No, it's okay. So yes, my ancestors joined the Mormon Church in the 1890s and then moved to America.
Yeah, he moved to America later.
Yeah, because he joined the Mormon Church. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he was also Mormon before he come here. I don't know.
Maybe.
The story is like that.
Yeah. That's wild. How did you hear that?
There is a woman in Ikast who have lived here since she was a young woman.
Oh.
And I think it's here some her relatives who have told me the story.
That is so exciting.
So,
yeah. So we found public records that showed that they lived right here.
yeah, and I think it's right. It's I know that woman, but she don't speak English, and she's very old now. I think she's 94. About that,
Wow.
she's and she is about that age. She lived
So-
just in Ikast here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what brought me here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us Nibos, Nubo, you say,
Yeah.
out in America. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Nybo. It's yeah. I don't know if there's anybody here, but there is a place out here who's called Nybo.
Oh, really?
It's close to Sunds.
Okay.
If you go, it's a small, not a village, but it's Nybo. Or many of that names around here, when in the old days, they say he come from Nybo, and that's why.
Yeah.
That's they sometimes get that name. Also,
So-
names after the farms or something like that.
Yes,
So there is a
yes.
place out here. I think there is about 10 houses there. It's
Wow.
called Nybo.
Yeah.
You
and
can
then,
Google Maps, then you can find it there. Nybo. N-Y-B-O.
Yeah, I was going to see if there's a place that has addresses. Like, is there a city hall with
Not
records?
address, but if you go in Google Maps, you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have that also. But then you can see Fjan Nybo. It's about, I think, 10 kilometers from here in
Okay.
west.
Uh, Okay, so the reason I came out here is because that guy told me that this area has a lot of Nibos. Now, they said it's Nubo. It's pronounced Nubo. Anyway, so yeah, he said that it's named that because there's so many. But you can see that there's no houses. I mean, there's a few down there, but anyway, so this is the area where a lot of our distant relatives would live. Wow, I didn't even mean to find this. So I don't know. This is just a forest over here, but look, I mean, there's got to be a lot of Nibos around here. Yeah, that's exciting. Some more old farms. Okay, so I took pictures of where Grandma lived, great-grandma Inger. This is the driveway. I got pictures of the house, but I didn't dare do video because there's people there. But this is all wheat fields, so I think this is still what it would have looked like when she lived here as a little kid. So this is more of the area where she grew up. You know, you saw the house. It's really pretty out here, and it's just all still farm. Here is another view. So the house is back behind those trees where I was just a minute ago. This is further down the road. It curves, it turns right, and then it goes this way. And look how amazing this is. It's just... So there's a long dirt road that goes from the main road back to the house. Here is a really cool old barn that was very likely here when she was. Wow. That is so cool. So it was very likely that she passed this barn, came into it, spent time in it, because it's part of the property. As far as I know, I mean, it's just down the road from where she was living. I want to get closer to it. It's actually really cool. So yeah, it's just, look at this vast land. You know, actually, that might be a house. Hope I don't get arrested for this. But it actually looks like it's a house. Yeah. Wow. I think that's a house. I wonder if she lived here. Do I dare get closer? Probably gonna have cops coming out here. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, look, there's curtains on the window right there. Wow, I wonder if she lived in this house. Because this is at the address listed. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Yeah, like there's a closet. Ah. There's some prickly things. Over here is like a kitchen. Then here we've got like a, back there looks like it's some kind of a living room or something. Over here we've got like a door. And I'm just gonna walk this way. Yeah, look at those curtains. Oh my goodness. And look, it has an upstairs. Yeah, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. Wow, there's like a bedroom, it looks like, in there. And yeah, there's the upstairs. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like a ghost head pop out. Okay, so this is down the road from that amazing old house where she lived. And so I just wanted to get a video of this area. So this is an intersection just close to where she lived, but on Elizabeth's email, it said that she lived in Ringstrup, and I just happened to find this old sign because I had to turn around and look at this. So it's next to this other one that says Hammerum, but there's an old sign. See the arrow pointing to Ringstrup, which was the name of the farm according to Elizabeth. So wow, super cool. Okay, so this Ringstrup Way means Ringstrup Way, which, you know, is a street there. Same with Nybo Way that I got yesterday. And so here we've got a sign for that. And then I found another old sign. And I can't even tell what it says. It looks like it says Tolstrup, which is also something that came up on Elizabeth's information. But anyway, look, you can see how close these were. So Inger grew up in Ringstrup, which is just down the street here. It's literally like the road kind of curves up there. It's kind of up there, and then all this pretty area would have been, you know, it wasn't paved obviously, but it would have been like a place that she would have gone past numerous times as a kid. Okay, so yes, I found out on Elizabeth's information, she mentioned Tolstrup and how they lived in it. So yeah, that says Tolstrup. And look how old it is. And I didn't even know it was there. I came to push down the weeds for Icust because I wanted to show that like Ringstrup Way and Icust were really close to each other because Grandma Inger is from Ringstrup and Grandpa Mikkel is from Icust. And then I found this bonus of Tolstrup, an old sign from, I mean, it looks like it's from the 1800s. And I just happened to find it by stamping down the weeds. So this is pretty modern now. And Elizabeth wasn't able to find the exact address, but Tolstrup, over here it looks pretty old as far as, you know, it looks like the way it would have been back then. But Tolstrup, so Inger and Mikkel lived in Tolstrup for a short time, had 2 kids here that died, and they buried them in Icust. And Inger's parents died in Tolstrup, so they lived here too. It's a very tiny place. Literally, like, you go over there, there's a roundabout, and you go a little further, and it's the end of the town. Okay, so this is Icust Cemetery, and there's an office here. I just went and talked to them, and I told her that I have relatives that died here in the 1800s, and she said, oh, then they wouldn't be here anymore. And so I was confused by that. So I got to show how big this cemetery is. See, it goes forever. It's very big. You can look it up on Google Maps too and look at it from overhead. But it's got all these cool hedges, and then each section is inside of hedges. But okay, so what I was saying is so I guess what they have to do is keep paying for the graves. So she said if they don't keep paying for the graves, then they just, yeah, see, like here's another area. Like this, you know, there's all these different little plots, and they each have their own kind of, see how they're like sectioned off with little plants, hedges and bushes. Anyway, so here's the thing. I said, I'm confused. What happens to the bodies if they stop paying? And she said, they just go away. And I said, but do they move the bodies? And she said, no. I said, what happens to the bodies? I said, is it that they decompose? And she said, yeah. So here's the thing then. That means that there are still relatives, remains somewhere in this cemetery, but it's impossible. And whatever remains there are is very meager, right? Like whatever is here is from practically decomposed nothingness. Anyway, so there's a few relatives buried here. Inger's parents are buried here, whatever remains there are. And Mikkel and Inger have a few babies that died that were buried here in the past. Cemetery records. Yeah, see here. Oh, there's the building where they have an office. So yeah, here's all these little grave sites. So there you go.